Hello, everyone, and welcome to the season finale of the inaugural season of the Diecast Indycar League. We're here at Nashville for 30 laps to decide a champion and Rookie of the Year. Let's start off with the championship. Pato O'Ward is the points leader over Kyle Kirkwood by 8 points. They are the main two championship contenders today, with Will Power 34 points back in third. Will has a chance, but he's going to need a lot to go right. Then, Rookie of the Year battle. Louis Foster leads Jacob Abel by 4 points. It's a straight-up fight between those two. We'll see who comes out on top. Now, let's take a look at your starting lineup for today's finale here at Nashville. So starting on pole, we have a man who was in championship contention for most of the way this year until a crash last week at the second doubleheader race at Milwaukee knocked him out. We have Marcus Ericsson on pole. He's been strong at ovals as well as all the Andretti cars. Elio Castroneves from Meyer Shank, who has also been strong on the ovals they've done. He starts second. Then we have our two of our three championship contenders, points leader Pato O'Ward and Will Power. They had great qualifying efforts. What result in a championship for either of them? We'll see. Christian Lundgaard and Alex Palou are in row 3. Then Felix Rosenquist and Graham Rahal. And then rounding out your top 10, our final championship contender, Kyle Kirkwood, starting 9th, but Andretti's good at ovals, so we'll see. Christian Rasmussen rounds out your top 10. Kevin Simpson, Colton Herta in row 6. Joseph Newgarden and Rookie of the Year contender, Jacob Abel in row number 7. Can Abel get it done? He starts ahead of Foster today. Row 8 is Juncos, Stingray Robb, and then Connor Daly. Santino Ferrucci trying not to be the only man to never score a point in a season in the Diecast IndyCar League. He has Scott McLaughlin right there next to him in row 9. Then row 10, Nolan Siegel and Marco Andretti, last week's winner. Row 11 is Scott Dixon and Alexander Rossi. And rounding out your field is the man who leads the Rookie of the Year standings, Louis Foster. You'll have to win it from starting last. So here we go. 30 laps today here at Nashville. This to decide a champion and Rookie of the Year. Season finale. We're green at Nashville. There was nearly a wreck in the turn 1. Elio Castroneves got tipped sideways by Will Power. Pato O'Ward was also caught up in that. They're falling back throughout the field, and we have a crash already in turn 1. A crash at the back of the field. Scott Dixon loses it and takes out Louis Foster. Before we even complete a lap, Louis Foster destroyed, Scott Dixon destroyed, and we were not done. That was not the only contact. Scott McLaughlin and Connor Daly are in the wall. Cautions out, major Rookie of the Year implications right here. Everybody got by safely. That was ahead of the wrecks and around the wrecks. Well, boy, it could have been bad. Already a hot start, a big crash on lap 1, takes out 4 cars. Yeah, that is, wow. Didn't take them long to wreck, didn't it? No, didn't. Scott McLaughlin ended up underneath the 78. So that's what happened to him. Rough season for Connor Daly. Scott McLaughlin has had a rough second half, as well as Scott Dixon. And, yeah. Very unfortunate there for all 4 of them that their season ends in the turn 1 wall. or for Daly and McLaughlin, turn 2 wall. So we'll update the results and then get back going. Santino Ferrucci got taken out in that. That would have been very interesting if he did. 23rd for Dixon. He finishes last. Louis Foster. If Jacob Abel finishes the race, he is Rookie of the Year. Scott McLaughlin with a rough end of the year. And then Connor Daly, who did not have a great season. His teammate, Stingray Robb, really outclassed him this year. Got a wink for Junco, did Stingray. Not that long ago at Portland. And here today, Connor gets taken out in a mess that wasn't even his fault. He got hit from behind by McLaughlin and he went into the wall. So we will restart on what looks to be lap number 5 with only 19 cars on the racetrack. Alexander Rossi, the last of those 19. Then Marco Andretti, 18th. Nolan Siegel, 17th. Santino Ferrucci runs 16th. Joseph Newgarden, 15th. Stingray Robb, 14th. Colton Herta, 13th. Kiffin Simpson in 12th. 11th is Christian Rasmussen. 10th is Jacob Abel. All he has to do is finish. That's all he must do to win Rookie of the Year. Kyle Kirkwood's 9th. Will Power fell all the way back to 8th after he and Elio Castroneves got connected before turn 1, even into entering turn 1. That was a very scary moment. It could have taken out a bunch more than what it did. I think that stack up had more of a issue to how the wreck started. Yeah, I would say that too. Pato Ward is 6th. He is the champion at the moment. Graham Rahal 5th. Felix Rosenquist 4th. Alex Palou 3rd. And we got an Arrow McLaren 1-2 at the moment. Or no, my bad. Lundgaard 2nd. Marcus Ericsson, who drives for Andretti, is in 1st. Here we go. Restart. Lap number 5. We're back underway at Nashville. Ericsson gets a good jump. That's Lundgaard. That's Palou. Rosenquist and Rahal. Palou nearly gets hit in the one. Almost big carnage to begin the race. Award to the outside. And Power and Kirkwood follow. Everyone's going through safely at the moment. Everybody's okay for now. Elio Castroneves gets sideways a little bit. Battling going on for 4th. Pato Ward and Felix Rosenquist. Rosenquist gets the spot. Will Power right behind Pato, and now Award getting a little help from Power. Award powers by Rosenquist. Top 3 all deadlocked. Here's Christian Lundgaard to the outside. But Alex Palou pushes Ericsson past, and Ericsson leads the first lap. We run under green. Lap 6 now. Pato the 4th, and here he comes to push Christian Lundgaard, his teammate. Power and Rosenquist side by side for 5th and 6th. Then Rahal and Kirkwood. They're going to make it interesting. Rahal sweeps by Rosenquist and Power on the inside. Here's Kirkwood to make it 3. Jacob Abel up to 9th, and here he is looking to the inside of Rosenquist. They're going to be 4 wide down the back straightaway. Oh! Contact! Contact, the round goes Felix Rosenquist. Wow, Will Power and Kyle Kirkwood barely got out of there. And Jacob Abel's in the crash. Jacob Abel gets taken out off of turn number 2. Will Power, Kyle Kirkwood get tipped, but they hang on to their race cars. But that means Louis Foster clinches Rookie of the Year with this crash. Man, that is... Wow, that is very unfortunate for Jacob Abel. All he had to do was finish, and Felix Rosenqvist loses it in front of him. There's nowhere for him to go. And that could have been Pato Award's championship right there. Both his contenders in this championship, both his rivals in this championship, Hunt, were right next to Felix Rosenqvist. He spins right underneath him, tips Willpower and Kirkwood go into a slide, and they hang on. Oh, man. Whew. Man, oh, man. That's... Wow. That is crazy. Well, that's a big moment in this race. Power, Kirkwood's championship hopes nearly dashed. We've only completed one lap on the green. We will restart on lap 9, but first we have to get the results done on the 2 cars that were junked. And then, yeah, we'll go through the full field order. So, Felix Rosenqvist crashes out of the race. He will finish 19th, the same spot he finished at Indianapolis. And then Jacob Abel. He had one job. He just needed to finish the race. And he did not. He will finish in the same spot where he finished at St. Pete at the beginning of the year. 18th. And Louis Foster, after crashing in turn 1, lap 1, with Scott Dixon, wasn't his fault. Dixon lost it into 1. Will win Rookie of the Year. Congratulations to Louis Foster and Ray Hall, Letterman Lanigan. So now, heading into the second restart of the race. Lap 9. Marcus Ericsson leads. Christian Lundgaard second. Alex Palou third. That's Pato Award, your champion at the moment. Graham Ray Hall 5th. Willpower 6th. Kyle Kirkwood 7th. Elio Castroneves 8th. Stingray Robb 9th. Kiffin Simpson 10th. Christian Rasmussen 11th. Joseph Newgarden 12th. Colton Herta 13th. Marco Andretti 14th. Santino Ferrucci 15th. Alexander Rossi 16th. Nolan Siegel in 17th. Here we go. Restart. Lap number 9. We're back underway at Nashville. Marcus Ericsson with a good restart. But then Lundgaard gets a run with Palou. Side by side for the lead going into turn 1. Kyle Kirkwood to the outside of Will Power. That's for 6th spot. Here's Elio Castroneves giving a push to Will Power. Power gets in the 6th. Power's ahead of Kirkwood. Now Kirkwood gets a push from Simpson and Kirkwood. Power's past. So much chaos. Herta's making it 3 and 4 wide. There's Rossi. He's struggling today. So is Siegel. Ferrucci and Andretti. Back there as well. Andretti gets a spot. Oh my gosh. Stingray. He's putting his car in some very precarious spots right now. Stingray falls back. Yeah, that was big. That could have been big right there. There's Simpson right near Power. Remember the issues that he's had with the Penske boys this year, the rivalry between Penske and Ganassi. Oh, Pato! He gets sideways with Palou. They hang on. Palou on the outside going for the lead. Pato Award, Mr. Fast Hands, is going to nearly cause them all the wreck, and Alex Palou goes to the lead with a big push from Award. Award gets help from Power. Award with a big run. Pato Award looking for the lead. Kyle Kirkwood's been stuck with Graham Rahal all race. Kirkwood finally passes Rahal, though. That's for 6th spot. Simpson now going on Rahal. Rasmussen in 9th. 3 wide for 10th. It's going to go to Herta, who gives a big shove to Ericsson. Big run from Colton Herta. Elio Castroneves to the inside of Graham Rahal, and he spins and backs into the wall. Big crash for Elio. Caution's out on lap 11. Another wreck, and this one's in turns 1 and 2. It's been calamity corners all race. And Elio Castroneves is the latest victim. Yep, lost underneath Rahal and Simpson. And that'll bring out another caution. But we'll have a new leader. It's not Ericsson this time. It's Pato O'Ward. And this is exactly what Pato needs, is for the laps to tick by under caution so that it gives less and less opportunities to Kyle Kirkwood. But he nearly threw it away. He almost crashed. He can't do that again, especially now that he's got the lead. He doesn't need to win the race. He just needs to beat Kyle Kirkwood and Will Power, and if Kyle Kirkwood gets taken out in this incident tonight. We'll restart on lap 13. We'll get Elio's position where he finished. I believe this will be 17th for Elio. And yes, it will be 17th for Elio. Not the way he wanted to end this season, not the way Meyer Shank wanted to end their season. 2 jumped race cars. So we'll go back to green on lap 13. The championship leader and champion at the moment, Pato O'Ward, leading the way. Alex Palou in second, Marcus Ericsson third, Colton Herta fourth, Christian Lundgaard fifth, Will Power, Kyle Kirkwood sixth and seventh, Graham Rahal eighth, Kiffin Simpson ninth, Christian Rasmussen rounds out your top 10. Then Stingray Robb, Joseph Newgarden 11th, 12th, Marco Andretti 13th. The 14 running in 14th, Santino Ferrucci, Alexander Rossi 15th, and Nolan Siegel in 16th. Here we go. Restart. We're back underway. Pato and Ericsson to the high side, below and Herta to the bottom. Pato O'Ward to the lead. Herta making it 3 wide for second. Lundgaard may make it 4 wide. Here's Power. He gives a push to Palou. And Kirkwood to Lundgaard. Big contact. A squeeze between Power, Ericsson, and Lundgaard. Kirkwood and Lundgaard make an aggressive play. Simpson's going to push them as well. Here's Rahal. Here's Newgarden. Everybody's trying to get in on this action. Three wide. Robb falls back. Newgarden falls back. Rasmussen gets ahead. Kirkwood fell back on that restart. He's getting pushed by Simpson. 4 wide. Rahal, Power, Ericsson, Lundgaard. They get the squeeze. Ericsson gets a little sideways. They hang on. Lundgaard gets the spot, but the battle's for the lead. O'Ward, Palou, and Herta. O'Ward gets the lead, but here's Herta underneath Palou. Halfway home, and Pato O'Ward, the championship leader, leads the way, but Alex Palou with a monster run on the outside. Palou looking for the lead again. O'Ward with help from Herta. And Ericsson's there. The 2 Andretti boys not helping out their rival, or not rival, their teammate. They're helping their championship rival at the moment. Kirkwood's stuck in a battle with Rahal still and Simpson. Kirkwood's down in 10th. A lot of battles going on throughout the pack. Lundgaard, Power, and Ericsson battling for 4th. Lundgaard has the spot at the moment, but O'Ward and Palou still side by side, and they go up the track. Palou gets the lead. Coming to lap 16. Palou, then O'Ward. Palou, then Pato, then Colton, then Lundgaard, then Will Power. Then Ericsson, Graham, Kirkwood. And here we go, some movement throughout the pack. The McLaren boys go to the inside looking for the lead, but there's more run on the outside line, and Palou's going to have it. Herta nearly gets turned into O'Ward. Herta makes it 3. O'Ward to the inside. with help from Lundgaard. So much chaos going on right now. Here's Ericsson, here's Kirkwood. They join in on the fun. As well as Simpson as we're on lap 16. Ericsson's ahead of Kirkwood. That's the battle for 8th. But the battle up front's getting really tight. 3 wide, Lundgaard, Colton, Graham. Lundgaard almost had the spot. Power's going on Award, and Alex Palou. Will Power, 3 wide for the lead. What a run by Will Power on the outside line. Lap 17, Power led the lap, but Palou has the nose ahead going for turn 1. Palou into the lead, then Pato. Will in the third. 3 wide still for 4th. They can't decide on who wants the spot. And Marcus Ericsson, Kirkwood, and Kiffin join into the fun and say Graham will get 4th. Surprised the Andretti boys didn't help out their teammate. Kirkwood still can't find a way to get up to the front. The Andretti cars are struggling right now. Arrow McLaren seems to have the best cars on the track. Big contact. Pato, Palou, and Will Power almost all come together. And Bo Ward has to make another quick save. We're coming to lap, leave 19. Palou in the lead, then Pato. And look at Graham make it 3 wide. Look at this. Graham, he's going for the lead. Then Will, he's going to dive to the inside. Graham to the lead, 3 wide for 2nd. Oh, contact. Lundgaard, Ericsson, Simpson, they make contact. Can they save it? Can they save it, or will this be a caution? Yep, it's going to be a caution. Lundgaard gets tipped into the wall. Ericsson rides over his tire. He's airborne. And Kiffin Simpson's in it because why not? Why not have a 3-car accident? Another caution. Going to the turn 1 this time. Or not even turn 1. This was the entire tri-oval. But now all 3 championship contenders run inside the top 5. And these 3 cars were pretty good. They were top 10 cars all day. Yeah, they were top 10 cars all race long. Marcus Ericsson. Big crash. Nearly got in the catch fence right there. Lundgaard spinning around Kiffin. Big crash. Marcus Ericsson, who's in championship contention all season long. 2 crashes at the end of the year derail his championship charge. Christian Lundgaard just had an awful season downright all year long. And it ends with another great day, possibly, but it gets ruined after he looks like came up in front of Ericsson thinking he was clear, and he was not, and they all crash. And it helps out his teammate, it helps out Pato, but doesn't help him. So, after the 3-car accident, Kiffin was the car, the 3rd car involved. He'll finish 16th. Then you got Christian Lundgaard finishing an awful season in 15th. Not a great start to his tenure at Arrow McLaren. And Marcus Ericsson, who had a great season, a great second half, a charge to where he was leading the points after a great Iowa doubleheader. Second, first, second for 4 weeks a couple of weeks ago. And then he's never finished inside the top 10 since 11th, 12th, 17th, and now 14th for Marcus Ericsson. Wait. Yeah. So we will restart on lap 22. Graham leads the way. Then it's Alex Palou. Then your current champion at the moment. Pato 3rd. Will Power in 4th. Kyle Kirkwood in 5th. What does Kyle Kirkwood need to do? If he gets 3rd and Pato finishes 5th, I believe the title still goes to Pato. I don't know. We'll figure out the math at the end. Actually, Kirkwood needs to win the race. That's what he needs to do. Colton 6th, Rasmussen 7th, Joseph 8th, Stingray 9th, Marco rounds out your top 10. Then Santino, then Rossi, and then Nolan. 13 cars left. Here we go. Late stages of the season. We're back underway in Nashville. Below to the outside of Graham for the lead. And Pato sticks it 3 wide up the middle. Kirkwood's saying there's a championship to win. I gotta go. And he's next to Pato. For the first time, Kirkwood has gotten next to Pato. It's been a while for those two to be side by side. And Palou is getting the push from Kirkwood for the lead. Nolan tried to get in there. Santino gets sideways in the back. He hangs on. Look at this. The 98's making a charge. Here comes Marco. 3 wide. Joseph, Colton, Rasmussen, they get the spot. But the top 5 is where the battle is. Palou in the lead. Kirkwood and Pato leaning on each other. I think if they both crash and Will Power can finish this race, Will Power has to finish in the top 2 spots. It's not impossible for Will, but it is pretty improbable. Lap 23 and Alex Palou leads, but Kirkwood and Pato are side by side for second. And Will Power is now falling back. Graham gets ahead of him. That's for 4th. Now Graham looks to be on the 3 wide for 2nd place. He goes to the inside of Pato. Pato leans on him. Kirkwood's got a lot of room on the outside. Colton ahead of Joseph. Then Marco, he's got a big chance. Here comes last week's winner into the play. And here's Stingray giving a big shove to Will Power. 4 wide for 2nd place. Marco up to 6th as well. Here comes the 98. All of a sudden, the 98 car is awake. 4 wide, possibly for 2nd. And Will Power with the biggest run. He's in the 2nd place. Pato is ahead of Kirkwood crucially. But it's Alex Palou out in front. Here's Will Power to the outside. They make contact. The Ganassi-Penske rivalry. Back at it again. Lap 24. Kirkwood to the outside of Pato. 3 wide for 3rd. Pato on the middle. Kirkwood way up high. Graham on the inside. Kirkwood looking to go 4 around Power for 2nd. That would be a big pass if Kirkwood can get the 2nd. Here's Stingray and Marco into the fray. Oh! Trouble! Trouble! Joseph turns Rasmussen. Wow, Joseph just turned him. And Rasmussen goes spinning and he's up in the air. Caution's going to come out, and this changes everything. Because we're now late in the going, and where is everybody at the moment? Kirkwood's in 3rd. Pato's in 5th. That was a big pass. Joseph just turned Christian Rasmussen. And Rasmussen spins across the front stretch in the air, gets up under the 21, and sends it flipping. Christian Rasmussen upside down. A tough way to end his season. Yep. Rasmussen sliding upside down in the grass. Big crash for Rasmussen. Hopefully he's okay, but we're going to need a red flag for this. Yeah, that was big. That was a massive crash. He got turned by Joseph at high speed going down the front stretch, and then thing just picked up and flew. Oh. Hopefully Rasmussen's okay. Now let's go to the championship as Christian Rasmussen gets work done. Kyle Kirkwood runs in third. Third place gets 36 points. Pato Award runs fifth. Fifth place gets 30 points. As it stands, Pato has a 2-point championship. Pato wins the championship by 2 points as Rasmussen is flipped over now. And he is being put onto the record. And he is okay. That is a great sight to see. But first, we got to look at... I got to be sure that I'm right on my calculation. Kyle Kirkwood's third. Third place does get 36 points. I was indeed right. So Kyle Kirkwood needs to finish in second spot, with Pato Award finishing in fifth. Now, if Pato is in fourth and Kirkwood's in second, that wouldn't get it done. Kirkwood needs 8 points. He would be behind Pato by 1 point. It would be a 7-point difference. So if Pato's in fourth place, Kyle Kirkwood must win the race. He has to beat Pato by at least 2 to 3 positions. At the least 2, but it depends on where they are. So it's going to be a very interesting last couple of laps. Will Power, what does he need to do? Well, we said it already. Win or finish in second and have the 27 and the 5 somehow get taken out in an accident. So Rasmussen's car is towed away after the accident that he had on the front stretch where he got turned by Joseph Newgarden. And we will score Christian Rasmussen upside down after a rough season in the 13th position. Had a couple of bright spots, 2 podiums this year, but had some winning speed, but just not enough winning speed. So we will restart on lap 26 of 30, a 5-lap dash for the championship. Alex Palou, he leads. Will Power is second. Penske Ganassi rivalry. Kyle Kirkwood in third. Graham Rahal, fourth. Pato Award in fifth. Stingray Robb, sixth. Joseph Newgarden, seventh. Marco Andretti in eighth. Colton Herta, ninth. Nolan Siegel, who's been in last all day, at least on the racetrack, finds himself in 10th. Santino Ferrucci in 11th. And Alexander Rossi, 12th. We just went through the championship scenarios. Who wins the championship? Will it be Pato? Will it be Kirkwood? Or will it be Will somehow? Here we go. Restart. Could be the final one of the year. Green flag is out. We're underway again at Nashville, and Kirkwood immediately dives to the inside. But Graham, he goes to the outside, and Graham get a really good restart. Graham battles Will for second. Pato's ahead of Kirkwood. Big pass there. Pato to fourth. Kirkwood now falls to fifth. Here's Stingray. Stingray looking for a shove. Look at Colton. Look at Colton Herta. He's in the lead. What a run for Colton. Wow. What a pass, and we have a big accident. Big accident. Oh, my gosh. Big accident. Big accident. Oh, boy. That was mad. That was bad. Marco into the catch fence. Huge crash. Huge crash. Marco ramped over Joseph's tire and went into the turn 1 catch fence. Over the 2 car. Oh, my. That's not good. That's a bad crash. Red flag is out immediately. Oh, no. Last week's winner in a horrible accident. Marco. Hopefully he is okay. Joseph was underneath of him. And boy, is that a really bad accident. I think This might end the race. This might end the championship right here. This might go to Pato. This might be the season, folks. Right here. That was a bad accident. Red flag is out. We'll see what the Diecast IndyCar League officials will do. But out of nowhere, Colton Herta finds himself in the lead of this race with one of the greatest restart possibly ever so far in this series. But the main focus is not on him right now. It's on Marco Andretti. Because that was a horrific crash. Yeah, Marco got tipped up into the air and then he went over the two. And oh my gosh, into the catch fence. That's horrific crash for Marco. And Andretti car nearly got in the fence earlier in the race. Ericsson was riding on the wall in his crash with one guard as he went over the sevens wheel. But that was at low speed on the front straightaway. This was at full speed in turn one. And boy, oh boy, a massive accident. Hopefully everyone is okay because this was horrible. The 98, it went in to the fence big. It went in like a sailor's tip, and good God. And just good gosh, man. Oh my. Think good thoughts. Think good thoughts, folks. Oh, that's just a horrific accident. Oh man, 98 cars completely destroyed. All these cars are completely destroyed. And into the fence again went Marco. He ended up hitting it again. Wow. That's just horrifying. And he lands on Nolan Siegel, who kicks him up into the catch fence again. I mean, my gosh. The person who ended up the best out of all three is Joseph Newgarden, because sure, the 98 went over him. It went over the catch fence, eventually landed on him. He went airborne as well. It landed on the rear wing, which obviously kicked the car into a wheelie. He almost slipped over, but thankfully he didn't. But he didn't get in the catch fence, and his car didn't get smothered in the head and just all around by that 98 car like Nolan Siegel's car did. Both of those drivers, and all three of these drivers are hopefully okay after a scary, scary crash here in Nashville. That looks very bad indeed. That looked really, really bad. And Marco Andretti, just last week, was on top of the IndyCar wheel. His first IndyCar win, the first ever part-time driver to win in this Diecast IndyCar League. Now, in a very severe accident, as well as Nolan Siegel. We'll have to see what the Diecast IndyCar League officials will do, because that's going to be a long repair to the catch fence if they want to finish this. But if they don't, we'll be celebrating Pato Award as champion. That was very horrific. Joseph Newgarden is okay. He climbs out. He's all right. Nolan Siegel and Marco Andretti have not climbed out. Obviously, we can't tell if Marco Andretti is moving. Not sure if Nolan Siegel is moving. I don't think we've seen anything. But that was just awful. Awful, awful. But Joseph is okay. The 98 car flew over him and went into the catch fence, front wing first. And then the driver's side vehicle, the driver's, it goes head first into the catch fence and just mows it down. And then lands on the 6 of Siegel, which then kicks the car into the air again. Does a full flip and back up into the fence. Absolutely awful. Also, the 6 got hit with wheels as well. There's only one wheel left with 98. And it's the right. It's the right rear tire. It's absolutely awful crash in turns 1 and 2 here at Nashville. Nolan Siegel, we are being told, is moving from the car. He's just going to need assistance to get out of the car. He's probably going to have to be cut out of the car. No word yet on Marco Andretti. They're going to be really careful with this 98 car to flip it over because this car is absolutely demolished. And yeah, this is not good at all. The 98 car has been flipped over. And it does look like that Marco is moving around, although very slowly. Nolan Siegel and Marco Andretti were the big cars involved, but the catch fence repair begins as well as helping Nolan Siegel and Marco Andretti out of their cars. But what a horrifying accident on championship weekend that has really taken the mood out of what should be the most exciting time of the year outside of Indianapolis. Oh, man. There's so many cars, so many officials standing around the 6 and the 98. looks like they are going to have to cut Nolan Siegel and Marco Andretti out of their cars to get them out after what was an unbelievable crash. And keep your fingers crossed here, folks. They're working on the 6 car first, but they're working on the 98 as well. They're actually working on it simultaneously, but it's going a little quicker on the 6 car. And they are helping Nolan Siegel out of the car. And they're going to put him on a backboard to take him away to the hospital. They're going to put the car on the flatbed. Nolan Siegel is out of the car. He's on a stretcher. And he is awake. He is alert. He gives a thumbs up to the crowd as they cheer their applause to him. And Nolan Siegel is going to be taken to a local hospital. But now our concerns are on Marco Andretti, who his head, I believe, did hit the catch fence. Although not his whole head, just the top, because of the aero screen. Thank God for this aero screen. Thank God. 98 now being cut into to try and get Marco Andretti out, who was moving around. But there is a sense of urgency to Marco Andretti, there wasn't on Nolan Siegel. There was a different sense of urgency on the 98 than with the 6. So think good thoughts. The car has been cut into. Marco Andretti, they're frantically trying to get him out onto the stretcher. Which they are currently in the process of, but there's a big sense of urgency here with the 98. Marco Andretti has been put out of the car and put onto a backboard. There are screens protecting the public from seeing the driver of the 98 on the backboard, which is not a good sign at all. He will also be taken straight to the hospital. Hey, damn dog. Just like Nolan Siegel is. And we will give you an update on both of them as soon as we possibly can. But Nolan Siegel, Marco Andretti, injured in a horrific accident here on Championship Day. And we will see if the Diecast Indycar League officials will want to finish this race. The catch fence is destroyed. I'm not sure if they will want to. This is not the way we want to end the season, but if this is the end, Colton Herta's greatest restart of all time in this series will be the race winner. And Alex Palou will have another victory stolen from him. He had probably the best car all race, and he's not going to get the trophy to show for it again. He's only won one race this season. He could have easily won 4 this year and been in this championship fight. But he is not in the championship fight. And here he's going to get probably another win stolen from him because I don't think they're going to get this race back going. We will score the Joseph, Nolan, and Marco where they finished after this crazy accident. Wow. So, yeah. Ooh, that was frightening. 2 cars upside down in one race. Never a good sign. Especially when one is head first in the catch fence. Marco Andretti finishes 12th after winning last week. This week, we're not sure if he's even alive at this point. Marco 12th. Then Nolan Siegel, also injured in this crash. He finishes 11th. And Joseph Newgarden, who took the least scariest ride out of all 3, although his wreck was still big. He'll finish with a top 10 at the end of the year, but with a smashed race car. And it's 5 o'clock here in Nashville at the moment. We do have lights, so we could get this back going. But I'm not sure IndyCar wants to after that horrific accident. Which, if Pato awards the champion, I'm not sure if he's even going to want to celebrate because Nolan Siegel's his friend, and that's his teammate who is injured in this severe accident. I don't think Colton Herta will want to celebrate either, as well as one of his bosses, Michael Andretti, because that's Michael's son and Colton's teammate that was head first into the catch fence. And we will see what the Diecast IndyCar League will do. We are being told that the Diecast IndyCar League officials will make a decision at 5:05 local time. That is 4 minutes from now on the state of the race. If Colton Herta wins, it'll be his second win in 3 weeks. That'll be a great way to end off this season. A win at the first Milwaukee Mile doubleheader, and then a win to end the year at Nashville. Andretti had a great season. Yes, they did. Herta won twice. He had a struggle of a year. But he's going to end up with the second most wins on the team. Kyle Kirkwood only got one win. That was at Iowa. Andretti, strong at ovals. And Marcus Ericsson got a win at Barber. And 2 in a row at Iowa, the second Iowa race in Toronto. Yeah, 6 wins for Andretti this year. If Colton Herta is the winner of this race. Which, that is insane to say. Alex Palou, he could have won at least a couple more than what he did. He won at Detroit, but man, he had a couple of them stolen from him late in races. Especially this one, if this does hold up to him finishing in second. Will Power, what could be his final race for Penske? He finishes third. He had a great car today, but not going to come home with a championship. He'll be third in the standings. Graham Rahal gets fourth. And then the man who could be champion, Pato O'Ward, finishes in fifth. Kyle Kirkwood, the man who is second in the standings right now, you finished sixth if this would be the end of the race. Stingray Robb with another great result. He gets a seventh. What a season for him with this Juncos team. Eighth place for Alexander Rossi, who didn't have the greatest car, but he had a good enough car to stay out of trouble. And Santino Ferrucci, if the race gets called, finishes in the 9th position, which means he will score points, 22 of them, if he does indeed, if this race does get called now. That's AJ Foyt's first ever top 10 in this sport, which is amazing to see. One minute away from decision time. There's a press conference going to be set, and we will go to that press conference as they are speaking now with the competition director, where after the accident in turn 1, the teams, officials, drivers, and everybody involved with this sport have decided to end this race and end this season. This is not the way we wanted to end the season, and our thoughts and prayers go out to Marco Andretti and Nolan Siegel. But the race is official. There will be no 4 pace laps after this awful accident. Race ends before the actual finish. Colton Herta is the winner. Pato O'Ward is the champion. And hopefully Marco Andretti and Nolan Siegel are okay, because that was a very horrifying crash. And nobody ever should deserve to go through that. And hopefully they are okay. So the race is over. The season is over. Colton Herta wins the race. He is the winner. It's his second win of the year and of his career. Both came on ovals in the last 3 weeks. He wins the first race at Milwaukee and then wins Nashville. Alex Palou second, Will Power third, Graham Rahal fourth, Pato O'Ward fifth for the number 5. He is the season 1 champion. I'm not sure anybody's in celebratory mood after seeing that incident in turn 1. Kyle Kirkwood 6th. He will end up missing out on the championship by 10 points. Stingray Robb 7th. Alexander Rossi comes home in 8th, and AJ Foyt Racing and Santino Ferrucci do score points on the year with a 9th place finish. But that's all for the first season of the Diecast IndyCar League. We will give you more updates to Nolan Siegel and Marco Andretti when they become available. Colton Herta is the winner of the finale. Pato Award is the champion of the inaugural season of the Diecast IndyCar League. And thank you all for watching for what was a really great season that ended on a really sad and somber note. Thank you for watching throughout the year, and as always, RBL. Peace.